Hmm. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are tuning in. Thank you so much for being here today, for joining me for my next installment of Facebook and Instagram Live. Um, yeah, it's such a delight for me to have time in my schedule to be able to come on and offer some mindfulness, some meditation type offering here. So thank you for being here, whether you're watching this live or catching the recording. I really want to take a moment to appreciate all of your willingness to engage in perhaps what might be a challenging practice, but very, very, very beneficial. And I've been doing these Facebook Live sessions now for, well, since 2020, March 2020. Wow, so it's been 5 years this month. I hadn't realized that till just now. And I started doing Facebook Lives one a day, every day. I did it one a day for about a year and a half as a way of helping to take the edge off the COVID lockdowns as much as I could. And I think that was of some benefit. And then I tapered it back to I went to about 3 times a week, then twice a week. And now I just do these Facebook Live sessions as a way of building momentum up into an online meditation program that I offer. And this is no different in that respect. So I want to talk a little bit about the online program. Just be like 3 minutes or so, and then we'll get into the topic. And the topic is in support of the subject of the online program. So this program is entitled Heartfelt Awareness, and the subtitle is Meeting the Present Moment with Kindness. Meeting the Present Moment with Kindness. And we are just pulling up the notes here. I had them in front of me, and then I must have closed the screen. We will be meeting on Sunday mornings, East Coast time, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., Sunday mornings, East Coast time. There's just one section for this program. Sometimes I offer 2 sections to try to cater to different time zones. Sadly, my schedule won't allow for that type of flexibility at this moment. So there'll just be one section, and that'll be offered again 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings, East Coast time. That equals to 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday evenings here in Thailand. So yeah, you can adjust your clocks accordingly. There's plenty of links if you Google, time adjustment or time change, things like that. You'll get several websites. I've actually provided a link on my Facebook page and also on my website. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit more about the program. We're meeting for 2 hours once a week. We'll be taking a deep dive into what's known in the Buddhist tradition as the 4 foundations of mindfulness, or the 4 ways of establishing mindfulness. And those are mindfulness of body, what's known as hedonic tones, or our feeling tones, then mindfulness of mind and heart, and what's known in the Buddhist tradition again as the 7 factors of awakening and the 5 hindrances. So we'll be spending 2 weeks, 3 weeks on each of those, for the 12-week program. So this program runs from April 27th to July 14th. If you'd like to find out more or go ahead and get registered, you can do so at my website, suchsweetthunder.org. Or you can simply message me through Instagram or through Facebook if you have any other questions, or if you'd like to register in that way, you're welcome to do so. So, in the program and in all of my teachings, I draw very deeply from the Buddhist traditions. That's the majority of my training. I've practiced now almost 40 years, close to 40 years. And studied quite intensely in the early schools of Buddhism, Theravada school of Buddhism, also Mahayana school of Buddhism, the later traditions from Tibet and Japan and China, Korea. Now, in addition to my trainings in those traditions, I've also trained quite deeply in somatic experiencing. I'm certified as a trauma professional. So those two tend to really kind of come together in a blend when I'm offering teaching. So everything that I offer, more or less, is offered within a trauma-informed framework. And yeah. So I think we can go ahead and move into our topic. So I'd like to talk today about befriending ourselves. Befriending ourselves. And in a way, I've come to understand the practice of mindfulness and the practice of meditations. These practices are in service of becoming a good friend to ourselves. And so that might sound daunting for some. I know it sounded a bit daunting to myself when I first started to frame the project of mindfulness in this way. But let's take a look at that. So we all have aspects of ourselves that we already like, right? For example, I like that I'm a meditator. I love my meditation practice, right? I like that I'm a cat lover. I love my cat, and that's a very nourishing relationship for me. I love the fact that I like to go to the gym and to take care of my physical being. Right? That too is a very well-liked aspect of my personality. I also like that I am a trauma professional, and that I have a set of tools that I can both help myself and help others heal in this way. And then there are aspects of myself that I don't quite connect with in that way, right? I have thoughts of anger. I have thoughts of fear. I have thoughts that are rooted in confusion, right? And these aspects are a little more challenging to hold, right? And so when those aspects are presenting, those thoughts of confusion, those thoughts of anger, those thoughts of fear, when they're presenting, that's an opportunity for self-compassion. Right? And I'm drawing very heavily here on Kristin Neff's work on self-compassion. If you're not familiar with Kristin Neff, Neff, I strongly recommend visiting her website. Really, really wonderful and very, very deep work that she's done around compassion. So let's say I'm in my day-to-day experience, maybe I'm at the grocery store, right? And the line is like 10 people deep, and I have a meeting that I have to get to, right? So here's the thoughts that are rooted in confusion and maybe frustration and anger, aversion coming up. All right, so I would then go into a self-compassion move there, what Kristin Neff calls a self-compassion break. So I just place my hand on my heart first. That's the first move. And this whole process takes maybe 10 seconds at the most. Put a hand on the heart. Well, immediately when we place a hand, or both hands, the way I'm doing now, on our heart, oxytocin gets released into the nervous system. So this is very calming. Oxytocin is the hormone that connects us to other people. So it's kind of a warmth, a relaxing, a calming quality, soothing. We can place our hand on our hearts, right? And then we go through what's known as the 3 pillars of self-compassion. The first one, the way I formulate it, is mindfulness. So I just place my hand on my heart and just noting without judgment what's happening in the present moment. Place my hand on my heart. This is a challenging moment. That's it. That's the mindfulness piece. This is a challenging moment. The second piece, common humanity. Still with my hand on my heart, all human beings feel challenged from time to time. Right? So right away, we're connecting to this very, very human experience. Right? Recognizing that thoughts that are rooted in anger or aversion, rooted in confusion, rooted in desire, those aren't bad or wrong. They're natural, they're normal. Right? So just by acknowledging that, and that all human beings, all 8 billion other people feel these emotions. And then simply posing the question, can I be kind to myself? Can I be kind to myself? And in that example, a move of kindness might be just taking a few deep breaths. Or maybe, if I'm really getting agitated, texting a friend. Connecting, allowing our social engagement network of our nervous system to come online. That too is super, super helpful, super nourishing. Okay, so we have this self-compassion tool, right, of mindfulness, common humanity, and kindness. Right? Hand on the heart. This is a challenging moment. All human beings feel challenged. Can I be kind to myself? That's it. Okay. So we want to sort of bring that with us into the meditation practice that I'm about to guide. So in this practice, and I'll just explain the full practice and then we'll actually do it together. So in this practice, you'll hear me ring a bell. I'll invite us to connect to the present moment briefly, just by noticing the sounds of the present moment first. Sounds are usually, they make a nice anchor point because they if we're carrying a lot of tension or stress or emotion, we tend to carry that here in the body, right? Around the heart area, the abdomen, or the jaw, or the shoulders, or the back, right? So sounds can give us a safe anchor point without sacrificing the connection to the present moment. Right? So we'll start with sounds. And then we will bring our awareness to the body. And when I say awareness, I'm really implying a type of awareness that's infused with care and non-judgment. That's mindfulness. Mindfulness has those two qualities, the quality of care and the quality of non-judgment. So we'll bring that quality of care and non-judgment first to sounds, then to the body. And then we're invited to simply notice the areas of the body that are both comfortable and relaxed and at ease, the areas of the body that we've befriended. And then we'll notice the areas of the body that are tense and painful and a bit stressed. And we'll work with that. We'll explore that. But at the same time, the easeful areas of the body, the tense areas of the body. If you have an area in your body that right now is very, very much in pain, there's a lot of pain there, feel free to move your awareness somewhere else that feels a little more comfortable, right? This shouldn't be a grin and bear it kind of practice. So we'll do that with the body. And then we'll bring that same non-judgmental awareness to any emotions that might be present. Positive, negative, painful, blissful, whatever's there. Meeting it with that frame of kindness and non-judgment. Remember the process of befriending ourselves, right? So if we have an emotion that's a little bit challenging, I'm not going to befriend that. Then I can meet that with compassion. Ooh, this is a challenging emotion. All human beings feel challenging emotions. Can I be kind to myself? right? Same thing. So if we are able to meet what's arising emotionally with non-judgment, beautiful. If not, that's also beautiful. That's an opportunity for self-compassion. Okay. And then we do the same thing with our thoughts, right? There's going to be thoughts that are already friendly or that we've already befriended, meeting those with non-judgment. That non-judgmental awareness gives us a window in to our sensations, to our thoughts, to our emotions, so that we can get to know them better and really explore them. And then there may be thoughts, sensations, emotions that are too challenging. And that's the move of self-compassion. That's the move to befriend. Right? Remember, it's the whole project of befriending ourselves. Okay. Just want to have a sip of coffee, and then we'll get started. So, before we do jump in, this is a practice that we will be exploring quite intensely in the 12-week online program. So if you like this practice and you want to explore more, that would be a good way to do it. Also, if you'd like a recording of this meditation, please message me, and I'm happy to send out recordings as well. So if you're not already, just take a moment to get into a comfortable meditation posture. And we'll be doing this for maybe 15 to 20 minutes or so. So some posture that allows you to stay alert and awake and present, and allows you to be soft and relaxed at the same time. And you can do this with your eyes open or closed, however you feel comfortable. And do feel free to shift postures mid-practice, or open your eyes mid-practice and then close them again. That's also fine. Whatever helps you stay connected. Okay. So in a few moments' time, I will ring the bell and I'll guide us in. And so the invitation here is just to arrive into this present moment. And there are many ways of arriving and connecting to the present moment. And for this practice, let's start by noticing the sounds. And so we might notice quiet, subtle sounds, or there might be loud, obvious sounds. And the sound of my voice. You might notice sounds generated by nature, perhaps a bird song nearby or crickets chirping. Maybe there's a dog barking in the distance or a conversation unfolding nearby. Perhaps noticing sounds generated by inanimate objects. The gentle hum of a heater or a fan or an air conditioner. The occasional car or truck passing by outside, or airplane flying overhead. I'd like to invite us here briefly to explore meeting each sound right as it lands. Very often we can notice a sound maybe a second or even a few seconds after it appears. And sometimes we might be anticipating a particular sound. But for our practice here, we're invited to meet each sound right at the doorway of awareness. This has the benefit of placing our awareness right in the leaning edge of the present moment. So just resting, listening, not trying to force anything or make anything happen. It's simply listening. And then if the mind starts to wander, that's very normal. And you could label that thinking, letting the stories go, and returning back to hearing. Just hearing. And then, perhaps in the next breath or two, the invitation is to kindly and gently bring awareness to the body. And simply noticing how the body feels in this current posture. Perhaps noticing the contact of the body against the chair or cushion or mat. Noticing the texture of that contact, smooth or soft, hard, coarse or rough. And if you'd like, inviting the body to relax just a little bit further into the chair or cushion. In a sense, letting any internal bracing soften and relaxing just a little bit more, if that feels accessible and comfortable. And perhaps also noticing the feet against the ground or the floor or the carpet. And again, exploring that contact for a moment, perhaps noticing this groundedness or anchoredness that this connection might provide. Perhaps recognizing that just beneath the floor, beneath the cement and the foundation of the building you're in, there's this beautiful life support giving planet. Resting, resting. And we might also notice the sensations of clothing resting against the body. Softness, smoothness, coarseness, roughness. And if you'd like, inviting the muscles underneath those sensations to relax and soften, unwind. Noticing the body in its entirety from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. Noticing in particular the areas of the body that feel relaxed and pleasant. Maybe there's a gentle tingling or warmth maybe in the cheeks of the face or the hands or the feet. Ah, that's nice. Noticing equally the areas of the body that feel tense, stressed, irritated, or perhaps mildly painful. And while holding those more challenging aspects of the present moment, naming without judgment, these are challenging sensations. All human beings feel challenging sensations from time to time. Can I be kind to myself here? What would be a move of kindness? Maybe placing a hand on the heart. Can I be kind to myself? Feeling safe in the midst of these sensations, feeling safe. Finding ease in the midst of these challenges, finding ease. Feeling safe in the midst of these sensations, feeling safe. Finding ease in the midst of these sensations, finding ease. And once again, noticing the entire body, the comfortable, pleasant areas, the more challenging areas. These sensations are not better than, they're not worse than, they're not equal to any other sensations. It's just this present moment. And if the mind is wandering here, remember that's normal. Kindly noting thinking, and returning back. And then, perhaps in the next breath or two, the invitation is to kindly and gently bring awareness to any feelings or emotions that might be present in this moment. A trace of sadness, perhaps, or frustration. Maybe there's some anger or confusion there. Resentment or loneliness. In some of these emotions, maybe there's joy, kindness, happiness. In some of these emotions, we've already befriended. And that's lovely if those are there. And just notice, rest in that. And some of those challenging emotions we may have already befriended. And that's great. In that case, holding those lightly, just noticing without trying to change anything. And with the other emotions that perhaps we have not yet befriended, naming what's there without judgment. Oh, there's sadness here. Oh, there's anger here. Welcome. Welcome, you belong here. You belong here. Recognizing that all human beings feel these emotions from time to time. Can I be kind to myself around these emotions? Noticing equally the pleasant, the unpleasant. Feeling safe in the midst of these emotions, feeling safe. Finding ease in the midst of these emotions, finding ease. Feeling safe in the midst of life's unfolding, feeling safe. Finding ease in the midst of these emotions, finding ease. These emotions, these feelings, they're not better than, they're not worse than, they're not equal to any other emotions. It's just this present moment. And then in the next breath or two, the invitation is to gently and kindly bring into awareness our thinking mind, just observing the stream of thoughts. And as much as possible, refraining from going into any stories with the mind, but rather simply observing thoughts arising and passing, the way we might observe a river flowing past, observing the stream of thoughts flowing past, without getting involved. And so you might notice pleasant thoughts, kind thoughts, thoughts rooted in compassion and goodwill. And that's lovely if that's there. You might notice angry thoughts, confused thoughts, thoughts rooted in desire, craving. And these are normal, natural human experiences. Can I be kind to myself around these thoughts? Can I meet these thoughts with kindness, with compassion and care and non-judgment? Feeling safe in the midst of these thoughts. Recognizing that all human beings have thoughts like these. That these thoughts aren't personal. Standing equally near the pleasant thoughts, the unpleasant thoughts. Feeling safe in the midst of these thoughts, feeling safe. Finding ease in the midst of life's unfolding, finding ease. Feeling safe in the midst of these challenges, feeling safe. Finding ease in the midst of life's unfolding, finding ease. If you are using that move of compassionate support with a hand over the heart, I'd invite us to place our hands back by our side or on our legs, wherever's comfortable. Holding equally with non-judgment the pleasant, the neutral, the unpleasant. Can we be kind to ourselves here? Can we be kind? And in a few moments' time, we'll begin to shift away from the guided meditation and back into a conversational space. And I'll cue that by ringing the bell 3 times. So thank you so much for joining me in that practice. This is a practice that has become, I was introduced to this kind of practice some years ago. But this has become a main feature in my own practice. I spend quite a bit of time meditating daily. This one I found to be incredibly relevant in the current world situation, and particularly what's unfolding in America right now, which is hard to comprehend, the insanity of it. And this practice has been instrumental for me in really, landing around that situation and being able to continue the work that I'm doing. On that note, it is crazy, crazy times worldwide. We're all, the whole world, all 8 billion of us are feeling this. Um, and so, yeah, self compassion can be extremely helpful. And again, just to highlight what I brought in here today, this concept of befriending ourselves, right? Because in the current world situation, or as a result of the unfolding events in the world, I find myself quite activated from time to time. And being able to meet that activation with compassion, right? Because the thoughts that come up, the stories that come up when I'm activated in this situation are thoughts and stories that are so far from who and what I think of myself as being, right? And that's the rub. And so, letting go of any idea or concept of who and what I think I am, right? That's just another uh, trap, another dead end, right? So, kindly placing that to one side, right? And that allows me to compassionately meet the present moment. Holding the anger, the sadness, the frustration, the confusion, the way a mother would hold a newborn baby. Caring for our anger, caring for our sadness, for our confusion, caring for our cravings and our longings. The reason for that is the care. It allows us to step out of the resistance that's there. A phrase that I came up with and that I often like to repeat now, both to myself and when I'm teaching. Our challenge doesn't, Often our challenge doesn't lie in the emotion that we're experiencing, right? For me, the challenge isn't the anger. The challenge isn't the frustration or the sadness or the disbelief or the confusion. The challenge is that I'm feeling those and I don't want to be feeling those. So by turning inward, and this is why that process of befriending is so important, by turning inward and befriending those emotions, as challenging as that can feel, we take the sting out of the resistance. Right? You can try this on your own as you're listening to me, or try it next time. Maybe you don't have any anger. I was going to use the example of anger. Maybe you're not feeling any anger or aversion in this moment. I'm not either, and that's wonderful. So it's nice to just acknowledge that. But next time you're feeling anger or aversion, just to really feel into that for a few moments, and then say out loud or quietly to yourself, whatever feels comfortable, I'm angry and I'm glad. Because, then again, using anger as an example here, but this is relevant for all emotions. Um, if I'm feeling anger coming up, and then if I move into yelling, kicking, punching, screaming, or shouting, I'm doing that because I don't want to feel that anger. Right? Also, if I move into suppression, I don't want to be angry. I practice meditation so long. If people see me angry, what will they think? That kind of thing. That's not healthy. That's going to make our body sick, right? So it is this process of befriending. And so I'm a lot less likely to yell, kick, punch, scream, or shout or suppress those emotions if I've befriended what that anger feels like. And so that's the whole project of the meditation I just guided, the whole project of mindfulness in general, is that we start to befriend the sensations of the emotion. And this is getting into another topic that I don't have time to get into. As you know, I don't have any notes for these talks. I just go kind of stream of consciousness. But I can feel I'm going into a whole nother. I could start an 8-week program just here. So I just want to say, yeah, meeting our emotions, our internal experience with compassion. If there's a challenging emotion like anger, all of our emotions arise as a pattern of sensations in the body. It's why mindfulness of the body is so, so, so incredibly important. Because when we can feel the inner workings and the sensations of the body, we can sense our emotion arising much, much sooner. And we can catch, again, the example of anger, we can catch the anger before we express it in the world, causing suffering, and before we suppress it. We can catch it with kindness. We can catch it with compassion. We can feel it without reaction and without suppressing. And because everything, really everything, is impermanent, including our emotions. They arise and they pass. So we don't need to yell, kick, punch, scream, shout to make it go away, because it's going to go away on its own anyway. Right. We just have to be able to hold our seat through the peak of that emotion without reacting. And it will subside on its own, because all experiences subside on their own. Okay, that feels like a good place to wrap up. Again, the course that I'm offering, where we'll be exploring all of this and much more, is entitled Heartfelt Awareness. We launch on April 27th, so a little less than a month from now, about 4 weeks from now. I'll let the airplane go. We'll be meeting on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. East Coast time for 2 hours. By the way, everything will be recorded on Zoom. So if you can't make the live sessions, that's okay. You'll be getting the recordings, and the recordings are made only available to the retreat participants or to the program participants. So, yeah. So if you can't make that time, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. East Coast time, I have many people sign up for these programs and do the whole program on video. That's great if you want to do it that way. I have also many people who sign up for the programs who do like half in person and half on video. That's totally fine too. Whatever suits your comfort. Okay, so I will ring the bell to close us out. So thanks once again for being here, everyone. I'm really appreciating you all. And yeah, stay safe, everyone. Stay safe, stay well. And hope to see you all in the program on the retreat. Oh, I'll be back here doing this again in a few days from now. So maybe see you then. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.